Hello everybody, welcome back to I Went to Pastry School So You Don't Have To. And today we're gonna make bird's nest cookies. It's the most basic cookie. It's 4 ingredients and you do the all-in method. So you just kind of put it all in a bowl, you mix, and you're done. That's probably like the easiest recipe you can make if you want to impress your friends or your family, or you just want something real quick and it hits the spot. So what more do you want? It's the one with the jam in the middle, and they look just kind of cute, right? They look really cute, and having homemade jam or just store-bought just adds an element of fruitiness that's just kind of perfect with the butter. And it's a sad day. We have chickens in the yard and one of them disappeared, and I noticed today she disappeared, and she was my favorite chicken out of 3. It's just kind of sad, and it's weird that I planned bird's nest cookies yesterday and I didn't know she was gone, and I'm like, maybe that can be a video for her. So I was like, I'm gonna light a candle for her. Well, that's for you, Cheeky. I'm kind of an animal empath. Like, I feel animals a lot. Like, I cried for a bee the other day, but there's a lot of context we're missing. Maybe for another time. But I'm gonna start by washing my hands, because today with those cookies we're gonna roll them out. So you want to make sure your hands are clean. They should always be clean when you bake, but just kind of reinforcing the habit. So clean your hands. Also, I'm getting a sleeve done. We just did the outline. My sister did it. She really captured my essence of the alchemist and my love for nature and, you know, all that. So I'm very excited. Let's get started on my cookies, shall we? Like I said, probably the easiest recipe we'll make in the entire program. It's 4 ingredients: flour, butter, sugar, and baking powder. We're gonna start with putting everything in the bowl. That's what I mean when I say it's an all-in method. Like poker, you just go all in, you just put it all in and then you mix. So let's start with our butter. I'm using salted butter. If you are not using salted butter, put 107 grams of butter and then just 1 gram of salt. Because I'm using salted butter, I'm just gonna not put salt and just put my butter. So we want room temperature butter, of course. Otherwise you won't be able to mix at all. So these cookies are kind of good. They're like very buttery. So they just kind of melt in your mouth. They're kind of fun to eat. And with the jam, you can kind of use any flavor you want. Let's put our sugar, 60 grams. Flour, 137 grams. I'm just gonna sift it in here. If you have a mixer, you can put it in the mixer. We're gonna do it by hand because it's such an easy recipe, and it just shows you that, you know, anyone can do it. Literally, that's the recipe that, if you've been afraid of baking, this should give you the confidence that you can do it, because it's so simple. Takes like 10 minutes to put together and you have cookies. And lastly, our baking powder, and that's it. Crazy. 1 gram of baking powder. Oh, mise en place. I guess I need to remember. Let's put our oven. Since it's such a quick recipe, it needs to be like ready. We're gonna put that at 190 degree or 375 Fahrenheit. All right, so that's our cookies. Easy peasy, right? Now we're gonna take our paddle and we're just gonna mix it until it resembles a dough. So obviously at first it's gonna be very powdery, so don't go all ham at first, okay? We're gonna take our time, make sure the butter is incorporated. And eventually it will make a dough. I might actually use a softer to start with. This is very like it doesn't bend, so might be a little too hard for the task right now. I'm gonna go with this one, more soft and bendy. I can just kind of get the butter better. So we're just gonna keep mixing. When you get to a point where it's really crumbly, you can just kind of beat it in a mixer. And you go around as if it was a mixer. Slowly the crumbs are gonna get bigger. I might transfer it to a bigger bowl because you know me, I never take the right tools. I just want more space. Which just give us more space. I get scared to like spill, so it's like just gives me more room to beat it. And these really kind of look like a little burnt nest because we're gonna roll them in coconut. You can roll them in almonds or like grounded almonds or even chopped up almonds and maybe hazelnut. Anything really. But I'm gonna go with a classic coconut. We're at a point where there's big chunks, but it's still crumbly. Whoops. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Switch back to my more rigid, doesn't bend, and then we're just gonna go. Mix. Obviously with the mixer it takes way less time, so if you're someone who likes something that's very quick, take your mixer, put everything in. You'll literally have cookies in 10 minutes. Like, it would take you longer to go to the grocery store and buy them. For real. We're pretty much there. I could take it with my hand and okay. Have a surface ready, and then you take your ball of dough. It can still have some crumbs, like it doesn't have to be like super sticky because we're gonna shape it into a log. So okay, obviously just be mindful that there's butter, so you want to be careful if you have. Oh, that's the oven. I was like, what is that noise? So you want to compress it into a log because, wow, I just got a flashback of pastry school, but you want to really stick it into a shape because you might get air pocket when you cut and then your cookie will just kind of be crumbly instead of a nice cut. So little tip, you just kind of make sure it's compact and you compact it into the shape of a log, right? At this point it's like Play-Doh. Like, it's really fun to play with. It's almost like kinetic sand. Like, so we're just gonna basically get a log. We're gonna try to aim for about 11 inches long, and then we'll keep rolling it with the coconut. So we want it about 12 inches long because that's for 12 cookies. So each cookie will be about an inch. So right now for the first roll, we're just gonna aim for 11. Because once we roll it in coconut, we'll just give it another roll and that will probably extend it to around the 12 inches mark. So just make sure you compact the end and we roll. This is what happened when it's not like totally compact. So when you'll cut it and then you'll have holes like this, which you don't really want. So we'll really compact this part. I'll just do it again, that's okay. See, that's what happened. It falls apart when it's not properly like compact. And that's okay. That's how you learn, right? You do it. Like I said, it's like the easiest cookies to make. Oh no! It's also so hot in this house. So, like the more I mess around with it, the harder it's gonna get. Okay, I think this is good. Yeah, this is 11. Okay, so we have our roll. Coconut. I lined a tray with just plastic. You can put it in anything really. This is easy, and we're gonna take our roll here. Roll it in coconut. Take your roll, and now you want it to kind of incorporate into the dough, just slightly so it sticks. So we're gonna roll it more, and that's where you gain that extra inch through that last roll. And now it looks gorgeous. It looks kind of long. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty much at 12. Okay, that's it, guys. So, to cut them even, you can have a ruler. You can just maybe go like one thumb. There's no precise measure, but here I have the tool to do it. So I have to bring it out because this is one of my favorite tools. It's just so cool. It's a wheel cutter. They're really useful to have like very precise measure. You take your wheel cutter and basically you line it up to your 1 inches, and then you have 5 perfectly even cookies. When you're at your desired length, you tighten the wheel cutter. Now you have 5 1 inches cookies. This makes 12. It's 12 inches, or at least it should. Okay. 5, 10. Boom. Okay. More or less, it's good. Take your handy knife and you cut straight, and that's a cookie. Okay, you take your line parchment, like you can line it with parchment paper or a silicone pad, whatever you have at home, and we're gonna put our cookies over there. This is kind of what you want, like it's compact, there's no holes. My only critique here is that you can see it's not perfectly round. It is a soft dough, so it's kind of hard to not have it perfectly round. But this is what happens when it's not super compact. But here it's not a big deal because you're gonna put jam in the middle, so it's like. But ideally you want it compact because then the structure of the cookie is really nice. So we're gonna put them on a parchment paper or silicone pad. I'm gonna do 3 rows of 4 for 12 cookies. And here I'm just gonna do like an alternating pattern to make sure that air goes in between. And I have plenty of space, so use the space. So now the fun part, you're gonna take your finger. I think they're also called thumbprint cookies because like you use your thumb and you're gonna make a divot in there about 1 centimeter big like this. So good. And it has to be a divot because that's where the jam rests. So don't just like press slightly, like make a dent. Like this. Oh, I love these cookies. They're so cute. It's for the chicken. 2 days ago when I saw her, I took a video of her and she was just, and it looked like she was enjoying the weather. Like she was just like soaking in the sun. I was like, I didn't know it was the last time I would see her, but you know, part of me hopes that she just found a way to escape and just kind of went off and died somewhere in a bush. I really hope she didn't get attacked because her life was, she was getting bullied. So I'm like, I just hope she went somewhere nice. Even if she's dead, I hope she's in a field of grass exploring and eating worms, you know. But at least she will be remembered. And we're making cookies. I almost didn't want to film today because of it, and then I was like, you know what, like, no, this is like the perfect opportunity to remember her. I know it sounds silly for some people because it's a chicken, but animals to me have souls, so I think everything has a soul. Anyway, look at how cute these are. Those are 4 ingredients, 5 with the coconut and 6 with the jam. So really, you can make this at home tonight if you want. Last step, jam. This is my mom's homemade jam. So a raspberry rhubarb, we're gonna put just a bit. It's a little more liquidy than store-bought, so I just want to mix it with some store-bought so it's a little sweeter. Rhubarb is very tart, and these cookies are not very sweet, so you do want some sweetness, like, and we'll get that from this jam, which is only raspberry, but this is like much thicker, and this is what we use at school, right? Like, we're gonna mix. Let me give a taste. Yummy. Very good. I'm taking a piping bag. You could just go with your spoon like this, right? You don't need fancy piping bag. Just make sure it doesn't overflow, because when the cookie bakes, it might overflow, which is not a big deal. It's just, it's gonna lose some of the bird's nest effect, right? Pastry School 101. Tips: when you have piping bags, you throw them immediately. I have eaten in the past from someone in my class one of their thing, and I found one. The recipe that the school gave us is for 6 dozen, so you make 6 of these. So during pastry school, it was like a factory line. We were just kind of like, someone was rolling, coating, and then cutting, and then people were just kind of piping and putting thumbs. It's kind of a cool sight, and then you really work on like teamwork and stuff. You look so good. Awesome. Now I'm like, I should have made more than 12, but it's okay. our little bird's nest cookies. They're so adorable. I really like the look of them. We're gonna put that in the oven for, I believe, 10 minutes. Most cookies are about 10 to 12 minutes. But I'm gonna put 10 and then look, and then I can readjust based on what I see. The 10-minute went by. I put 2 more minutes. You want it to be like a light golden brown. They could use another minute, probably. The edges are starting to get brown, but I want the whole cookies to be a little more uniform in color anyway. Just wanted to show you guys my sleeve. But essentially it's like a cake. It's gonna be like a sourdough. There's gonna be little potions here. I'm keeping this one, but we're covering up this one, this one. We're covering up a bunch of old tattoos that were kind of like my sister's first tattoos, so a new era. And then here we go. They look so adorable. Because this is pastry school, even online, we're gonna let them cool down, and then we're just gonna analyze them for a little bit to see what we can do better, or maybe it's perfect. It's not, but this one's really great. And then let me show you like the bad one. It's not really bad, but I'll show you. We've got a really nice cookie. That's the perfect cookie. But we're not perfect, so we're not an industrial machine, so by not compacting my log as much as I could have, you get these kind of gaps. So it's not perfect, but I mean, are you gonna complain? I'm not. I'm gonna eat it. So we can eat the ugly one, I guess, and see what it tastes like. Just like a very buttery cookie with a bit of jam. It's just wonderful, honestly. For 4 ingredients, 15 minutes of your time, you too can be a freaking baker. Anyone can bake.